Hello, and welcome back to the Comeback Conversations. Today, I want to talk about something that I know so many women, especially mums, quietly struggle with. And that is the feeling of having lost yourself a bit. Not completely. You're still you. You're still getting on with things. You're still showing up. You're still taking care of everyone else. You're still doing what needs to be done. But somewhere along the way, you stop feeling like you. You don't quite feel confident anymore. You don't quite feel comfortable in your own skin anymore. You don't feel excited when you get dressed. You don't feel good when you look in the mirror. You avoid photos. You compare yourself to how you used to look, how you used to feel, how you used to carry yourself. And deep down, if you're honest, you know that something feels off. And I think this is one of the hardest things for women because from the outside, life can look fine. You're functioning, you're coping, you're getting on with it. But inside, you feel flat, disconnected, a bit fed up, a bit lost, like your confidence has slowly been chipped away over time. And I want to say this right now. If that is you, there is nothing wrong with you. You have not failed. You have not left it too late. You're not doomed to feel like this is forever. And you have not become just this version of yourself now. You can get your confidence back. Maybe not overnight, maybe not just by saying affirmations in the mirror, maybe not by pretending everything is fine, but properly, genuinely, step by step. You can become someone who feels strong again, proud again, comfortable again, attractive again, alive again. And that's what I want to talk about today because confidence is not something you either have or don't have, it's something you build, it's something you rebuild. And sometimes after certain seasons of life, that rebuild is exactly what's needed. So if you felt like you've lost yourself a bit, this one is for you. I think the first thing we need to do is actually understand why confidence drops, because for a lot of women, it doesn't happen all at once. It's not usually one dramatic moment, it's gradual. It's years of putting yourself last. It's years of being needed by everybody else. It's years of stress, rushing, convenience food, emotional eating, poor sleep, not moving enough, not having structure, and not having support. It's years of not really checking in with yourself properly. And then one day you wake up and you realize you don't really recognize yourself anymore. Maybe your body has changed. Maybe your energy has changed. Maybe your mindset has changed. Maybe your relationship with food has changed. Maybe you've spent so long being mum, wife, partner, carer, the reliable one, the one who sorts everything, that you haven't actually thought about you in a long time. And that does something to you because confidence is just not about your body. It's not just about weight. It's not just about clothes size. Confidence is about identity. It's about how you see yourself. It's about whether you trust yourself. It's about whether you feel proud of how you're living. It's about whether you feel like you're still connected to the woman underneath all the responsibilities. And a lot of women I speak to feel guilty even admitting this. They'll say things like, I know I should be grateful. I know there are more important things. I know it sounds silly. I know it's not all about looks. And yes, of course, life is more about looks, but let's not dismiss this because when you don't feel good in yourself, it impacts everything. It impacts how you walk into a room, how you speak, how you socialize, how you dress, how you show up in photos, how intimate you feel, how energetic you feel, how willing you are to go out, how much you hide, how much you shrink, how much you settle. So, no, it's not shallow. It matters. Wanting to feel confident again does matter. Wanting to feel good in your own body does matter. Wanting to look in the mirror and think, there I am, matters. Now, the biggest mistake I see women make is this. They think confidence comes before action. They think, when I lose weight, then I'll feel confident. When I look better, then I'll feel better. When I'm more motivated, then I'll start. When life calms down, then I'll focus on me. But confidence doesn't magically arrive and then make you act. It works the other way round. Action creates confidence. Keeping promises to yourself creates confidence. Doing the workout when you couldn't be bothered creates confidence. Going for a walk creates confidence. Saying no to the mindless evening snacking creates confidence. Getting back on track after a bad day creates confidence. Drinking the water, planning the meals, turning up, following through, stacking those little wins. That is how confidence is built. Not through waiting, not through hoping, not through scrolling and comparing. And I'm an advocate to that as well. Not through thinking about it for another 3 months. Confidence comes from evidence. When you start proving to yourself, I can do hard things, I can be disciplined, I can be consistent, I can prioritize myself, I can change, I can trust myself again. That is where the confidence comes from. And this is such an important point because a lot of women are sat waiting to feel better before they start acting better. But you have to be willing to start before you feel fully ready. You have to be willing to start as the woman who currently feels a bit lost so you can become the woman who feels found again. I think so many women get stuck because they keep comparing themselves to an old version of themselves. The old body, the old energy, the old confidence, the old life. Maybe before kids, the kids were younger, maybe before stress got bad, maybe before menopause symptoms, maybe before heartbreak, maybe before the routines changed, maybe before you stopped recognizing yourself. And the problem is, if you're chasing a memory, you're trying to go backwards, but the real goal is not to become the exact version of you from 10 or 20 years ago. The goal is to become a strong, confident, healthy version of you now. The version of you that fits your current life, your current body, your current responsibilities, your current season. And I think that shift is really powerful because it stops this constant battle of, I'll never be her again. Maybe not, but that doesn't mean you can't become something incredible from here. You do not need your old body back as much as you think you do. You need your self belief back. You need your standards back. You need your routine back. You need your energy back. You need to trust in yourself. You need that trust in yourself back. That's what you're really missing. They're the key points. And once you start rebuilding that, your body often starts changing as a byproduct anyway. So let's get practical. How do you actually get your confidence back when you've lost yourself a bit? Not in theory, not in a quote, not in a motivational post, in real life. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. There is no perfect Monday. There is no magical quiet season. There is no point where life suddenly stops being busy. If you're waiting for life to calm down before you focus on yourself, you could be waiting forever and then it's too late. The women who get results are not the women with the easiest lives. They're the women who decide, even with everything going on, I'm still doing something. Not everything, something. That might be 5,000 steps a day. That might be 3 workouts a week. That might be more water. That might be protein with every meal. That might be cutting out the evening picking. That might be simply proving to yourself that you're back in the game. Confidence starts when you stop saying, I'll do it later, and start saying, I'm starting from where I am. Make promises to yourself that you can actually keep. One of the quickest ways to destroy confidence is to constantly overpromise and underdeliver to yourself. You say, this week I'm going all in. And then by Wednesday, you're overwhelmed. Then you feel like you failed. Then you comfort eat. Then you think, see, I knew I couldn't do it. So instead, just shrink it down. Set targets that are realistic enough to be repeatable. Because repeatable wins build belief. You do not need an extreme plan. You need a plan you can actually stick to. That is how momentum builds. And then you build up the habits. Then you start increasing the steps. Then you start increasing whatever. And then better results come. Sort your routine out. Confidence loves structure. When your days feel chaotic, your food becomes reactive. Your movement becomes optional. And your self-care drops off. And you feel like you're constantly on the back foot. You don't need military level perfection. You just need some anchors, a wake up time, meal structure, walks and the time maybe you're going to go for those walks in the days, workout days, a bedtime routine, or just a set bedtime, water intake, some form of plan that you stick to. The more structured your basics are, the more settled you feel. And when you feel more settled, you tend to feel more in control. And when you feel more in control, confidence starts creeping back in. This is a huge one. Stop speaking to yourself like an enemy. This one matters massively because I hear women say awful things about themselves that they would never say to someone they loved. I'm disgusting. I've let myself go. I'm hopeless. I've ruined it. I look awful. What's the point? And I understand the frustration, I really do. But you cannot hate yourself into confidence. You cannot bully yourself into becoming someone you feel proud of. Yes, you might need a reality check. Yes, you might need honesty. Yes, you might need to take responsibility. But responsibility and self-hatred are not the same thing. You need to speak to yourself like someone worth helping. Try this instead. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm working on it. I've drifted, but I'm not done. My body has changed, but I can still improve it. I'm capable of more than I've been giving myself credit for. I can start now. Now, that's a very different energy. Do not base your confidence on one day. A bad meal does not mean you failed. A weekend off track does not mean you failed. And trust me, that was me over the weekend. A holiday does not mean you failed. A McDonald's does not mean you failed. Missing a workout does not mean you failed. This is huge because women lose confidence not just because of what they do, but because of what they make it mean. You overeat once and you decide you've ruined everything. You miss a few days and you think you've gone backwards. You have a wobble and then disappear for weeks. Confident women are not women who do everything perfectly. They're women who recover quickly. That is a skill and that can be learned. If you want your confidence back, you need to become someone who gets back on track fast. No drama, no all or nothing, no I'll start again next month. Just, that wasn't ideal, on we go. Tomorrow comes. That mindset changes everything. I want to say this clearly because I think it's one of the most important things, or the most important lines actually in the whole episode. A lot of confidence comes from keeping your word to yourself. That's it. When you say you're going for a walk and you do it, when you say you're going to prep your lunch and you do it, when you say you're going to do 3 workouts this week and you do them, when you say you're going to stop picking in the evenings and you improve it, when you say you're going to prioritize you again and you actually start acting like it, you feel different. Why? Because you start trusting yourself again. And just a little side note here, writing these things down helps massively as well. If you sit there at the beginning of the day and you write down these things that you're going to do, well, for myself personally, there's probably 50% more chance that I'm going to do it because it's written there in front of me and it's in front of me at my desk all day. Anyway, moving on. And then when you trust yourself, you carry yourself differently. You speak differently. You show up differently. You stop feeling like a victim of your circumstances and start feeling like somebody who's back in charge. That does not require perfection. It requires consistency. And of course, it also requires patience. Because sometimes women want their confidence back in 2 weeks after years of neglecting themselves. Now, is that realistic? You do not rebuild a relationship with yourself overnight. It's like building a relationship with somebody else. But every walk, every workout, every better decision, every moment you stop abandoning yourself, it all counts. What if you feel guilty focusing on yourself? This is a massive one for mums. A lot of women feel guilty putting times into a lot of women feel guilty putting time into themselves. They think it's selfish. They think they should just get on with it. They think everyone else should come first. But let me say this. Looking after yourself is not selfish, it's responsible. Because when you feel better, you are better for everyone around you. You have more patience, more energy, more confidence, more capacity, more emotional stability, and more presence. And also, your children are watching. They're watching how you speak about yourself, how you treat your body, how you handle stress, how you prioritize your health, how much you believe you matter. So This isn't just about fat loss or feeling better in a dress. This is about the example you set. This is about showing that motherhood does not mean disappearing, that getting older does not mean giving up, that after years of putting others first, you're still allowed to choose yourself too. And how powerful is that? I'll tell you what, it's fucking powerful. The woman you want to become is built in ordinary days, not glamorous days, not holiday days, not life is perfect days, ordinary days. The school run days, the work days, the tired days, the busy days, the days where you can't really be bothered, days when nobody claps for you, the days where the results aren't obvious yet. That is where confidence is built. I think people massively underestimate this. They think transformation happens in big moments. It doesn't. It happens when you choose better in quiet moments over and over again. And that's why I always say do the basics well. And my clients and anybody listening to this who's worked with me before will know that I'm a stickler for the basics. And when we go off track, we just stick and go back to the basics again. Because the basics done consistently will change your body, your mindset, your energy, and your confidence more than any extreme detox, 21-day shred, or nonsense challenge ever will. Walk more, eat better, lift weights, train properly, get protein in, drink your water, sleep better, reduce the mindless snacking, and stop quitting every time life gets messy. It sounds simple because it is simple, but simple does not mean easy. And that's why support matters. You are not far too gone. I want to speak to the woman listening right now who feel like she's left it too late. Maybe you're overthinking. Maybe you've been this way for years. Yeah, but I've tried before. Yeah, but I've always gone back to square one. Yeah, but my body's older now. Yeah, but I don't think I've got it in me. Let me tell you one thing. You are not too far gone. You are not broken and you are not beyond help. I'm currently working with a 67-year-old who's lost almost 4 kilos in 4 weeks. So you are not an exception to change. What your body, what you probably need is not more shame, not more pressure, not an extreme plan. You need the right structure, the right support, the right standards, the right environment, and probably, if I'm honest, a coach or someone to keep you accountable so you don't stop disappear, so you stop disappearing every time things wobble. Because left to your own thoughts, it's very, very easy to stay stuck, very easy to rationalize, very easy to say, I'll sort it later. But later turns into months, months turn into years, and then when you look back and wonder why you spent so long waiting, please do not spend another summer feeling uncomfortable in your own skin. Please do not spend another year hiding in photos. Please do not keep telling yourself you'll deal with it one day. At some point, one day has to become day one. And just before I wrap this up, I want to paint the picture of what this actually looks like. Because yes, we talk about confidence, but what does that really mean? It means opening your wardrobe and not instantly feeling deflated. It means putting clothes on and not wanting to change 5 times. It means going out without a constant self consciousness. It means getting in the photo. It means having more energy. It means walking taller. It means feeling attractive again. It means being proud of how you're showing up. It means not constantly obsessing over your body because you're finally doing something about it. It means feeling like you again. Maybe even a stronger version of you. Not because life got easier, but because you decided to come back to yourself. And that is what this is really about. Not becoming obsessed, not becoming perfect, not chasing some ridiculous standard. Just getting back to a place where you can honestly say, I feel better. I feel stronger. I feel more like me. I'm proud of myself again. That is a beautiful thing. And it is possible for you, all of you. So, if this episode has hit home for you, if you've been listening and thinking, that is me, I have lost myself a bit. I do want my confidence back. I'm sick of feeling like this. Then I want to invite you to take the first step. Right now, I'm offering a free Kickstart. And this is exactly what it sounds like. It's a chance to work with me for a week, get some structure, get some support, get some accountability, and start building that momentum back. This is for the woman who knows she needs to do something, but maybe isn't ready to dive straight into everything without support. Inside that free Kickstart, we focus on the basics: your routine, your steps, your foods, your workouts, your habits, your mindset, and most importantly, just getting you moving in the right direction again. And from there, if you want to continue, that can lead into my 12-week summer shape up program. That's where we go deeper. That's where we really work on your nutrition, your training, your routines, your accountability, and getting you into the best possible shape for the summer, not just physically, but mentally as well. So, if you've been wanting to feel fitter, healthier, more confident, happier in yourself, and more in control again, this is your sign. The kids may have flown the nest, or maybe life has just been all about everyone else for far too long, but now it is your turn. Your turn to prioritize yourself. Your turn to feel good again. Your turn to get your confidence back. Your turn to make this summer the one where you stop hiding and start showing up. If you want more information on the free Kickstart, head to the link in the description or message me directly with the word Kickstart and I'll point you in the right direction. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Comeback Conversations. And just remember, confidence does not come from waiting to feel ready. It comes from deciding that you matter enough to begin. And I'll speak to you in the next episode.